In the previous program, we talked about Sun Wukong learning 72 times. This is what the original book describes, but 3 years later, the ancestor went to the palace to talk to everyone, and asked in front of everyone, which class do you want to learn? There is a class of Tiangang skills that should change in class 36, and a class of Earth Evil skills that should change in class 72. Disciple, I would like to learn more and learn a change of the Earth Evil. Since that's the case, you come up and pass on your mantras, and follow Fuer's words. I don't know what wonderful methods he said. The Monkey King is also able to understand all the wells of one's own mind. He learned the mantras at that time, and he could practice by himself at that time, and learned all the changes in the class 72. When Sun Wukong first learned the great quality immortal technique, he was knocked 3 times in the head and walked through the back door in the middle of the night. The patriarch Subtitles secretly taught him. But these 72 times were taught to him on the spot by Patriarch Subtitles in public. Sun Wukong learned the great quality immortal technique, but he had been digesting and absorbing it for 3 years. But after these 72 times, Fuer told him the mantra in a low voice, and he knew it on the spot. Do you still understand this comparison? Sun Wukong's most powerful magic was not just 72 times, but the great quality immortal technique he secretly taught him back then. This great heavenly immortal art is much more powerful than the 72 times. Let's take a look at the state of Sun Wukong after he learned the great immortal technique. Since you have mastered the Dharma nature, you will get the root of your roots and rely on your divine body, but you are only guarding against the 3 disasters and benefits. What does it mean to get the root cause? Did Sun Wukong remember something? Let's talk about what Sun Wukong did when he was born, and this monkey must know something. Let's talk about Jinduyan. What is the biggest function of Jinduyan? It was after getting into trouble and asking for help. This is also the spell that Sun Wukong uses the most frequently in the book, and it is also the most practical skill. So, let's summarize. If the magic skills taught by Master Subtitles to Sun Wukong are sorted according to their degree of strength, they should be the great heavenly immortal art, which is greater than 72 times. 72 times are even more powerful than Jin Doyun. After mastering these 3 skills, Sun Wukong is about to graduate. Let's summarize and objectively evaluate how Sun Wukong performed at Lingtation University. It can be said that it is just 2 words. He is both smart and diligent, and he can get 3 good students every year, but who would have thought that he was such a 3 good student, but he did not graduate successfully, but was expelled from the school. One day suddenly, the Patriarch Subtitles drove away Sun Wukong. The reason was that Sun Wukong turned into a tree in public. If you go to Dingsheng, you will be bad. How can you cause trouble and commit crimes? But you are not allowed to say that you are my apprentice. If you say half a word, I will peel you, the grandson of the fox, and demote your soul to the place of the 9 netherworlds, so that you will never be able to turn over. This master has a high hatred for Sun Wukong, his disciple. Look, as his master, he knew that Sun Wukong would definitely cause trouble. Not only did he not come to save his disciple in advance, but instead let him go. Since the master knew that Sun Wukong would definitely implicate him, why did he still accept such an apprentice? He also taught him various magic and abilities. Third, let's take a look at what magical magic that Patriarch Subtitles taught Sun Wukong. First of all, this great heavenly immortal art can help Sun Wukong hide his identity, making him look like a Buddhist and a Taoist person. It is even more obvious to use for trouble, Jin Doyun, which is used to escape. So there is only one truth. Subtitles drove Sun Wukong away to make trouble. He was worried that the monkey would not cause big enough, so he specially gave him the ability to cause trouble. Subtitles' front line to fire Sun Wukong is, go and cause trouble for the boy. Show. Don't say who I am. At this time, let's look back at what kind of person is this Patriarch Subtitles. He lives in Hezhou, Rhino, has many disciples and is high profile in his work. He likes to give his disciples Buddhist names, and likes to compare Confucianism and Taoism with Buddhism in class. He wanted to teach Sun Wukong the art of collecting sounds and replenishing sounds, but Sun Wukong didn't learn it, and San Jing secretly taught the monkey in the middle of the night. Third, he is a person who knows that his disciple will cause trouble and teaches him magic, but is afraid that the world will not be in chaos. How can such a high-profile and trouble-loving person be a neighbor with Tathagata? How can I bear being a neighbor with such a person who is afraid of the world's chaos? So the question arises, what is the relationship between the patriarch Subhuti and the Tathagata? Chapter 7 of Journey to the West, the Great Heavenly Palace of Sun Wukong, the passage in which the Buddha of Tathagata suppressed Sun Wukong, is described in this way. Wukong wanted to fight with the Tathagata, and the great sage Lixing shouted, "Which good man is you, dare to stop the sword and war, and ask me?" It can be seen that Sun Wukong did not know Tathagata Buddha, but just seemed to think Tathagata was a good man. And the last sentence Tathagata said to Sun Wukong was, that means others will attack Sun Wukong. If Tathagata himself will attack Sun Wukong, he could not say that he was a poisonous hand, so from here we can know that Tathagata is very concerned about Sun Wukong's safety. He also said it was a pity that your true nature was, which means that Tathagata knew him and knew his true nature. Nguyen Che was a human being, determined to practice the truth of the fruit, and lived in the holy mirror forever, and once he had a dispersed spirit. The boss of the 7 days online is at a high position, and the spirit saint secretly carries the big wheel of chaos, and the evil is full of money and rewards. I don't know when I will turn over. Tathagata knew everything about Sun Wukong from birth to learning arts, and then making a big fuss in the heavenly palace. Tathagata should know who Sun Wukong's master was, so Tathagata knew Patriarch Bodhi. At the beginning, Master Bodhi drove Sun Wukong out of his sect and warned Wukong, "If you dare to say your name, you will tear the monkey to pieces." Now that Sun Wukong's identity has been exposed, what would you do if you were Bodhi? And have you noticed that Master Bodhi disappeared forever after the second chapter of Journey to the West? Not only did he disappear, but many of his apprentices never appeared again. There are 3 possibilities for his disappearance. Tathagata destroyed the Bodhi patriarch, killed his disciple, burned the Lingtai Fengsuan mountain, snatched his territory, and stabbed the rhino and crane boat. A Master Bodhi who is high profile in his work and has strong magic power, and has many bad disciples, brings many of his disciples. The third possibility is that the person Bodhi patriarch does not exist at all. Bodhi lives in the Lingtai Fengsuan mountain, and the Xiyue Sanqing cave. The so-called Lingtai Fengsuan is a nickname for the heart. Then the 3-star Xiyue points directly to the word heart. In other words, the virtual Bodhi dwells in the heart and is not in the human world at all. Which of the above 3 possibilities is more credible? Later, who is the biggest beneficiary of Sun Wukong's big fuss in the heavenly palace? There is no doubt that it is Tathagata. In other words, Void Bodhi did all this for the Tathagata. The virtual Bodhi appears because of the Tathagata, and disappears because of the Tathagata. Therefore, the Void Bodhi and Tathagata are not enemies, so the Tathagata does not have the necessity to eliminate the Void Bodhi. Even if it is eliminated, it is impossible to leave no trace. So, is there another possibility? Void Bodhi is the Tathagata himself. What is the truth? Is there any evidence to say that Void Bodhi is the Tathagata? The next episode will continue to tell you the story behind Journey to the West.